Cohen was defense secretary from 1997 to 2001, so he knows all the players here quite well, and he joins us from Washington today. Welcome back to InBusiness, Secretary.
Great to be with you.
You do know the players well, as this country supported the Mubarak regime for some 30 years here. Right. You know how strong the ties are between this country and Egypt's military. How do you describe that relationship?
Well, it's been, as you said, a very strong one. We have military-to-military relations that are ongoing and deepening. We have provided military equipment over the years as well. The Egyptian military has been very supportive of trying to maintain stability in the region, namely having a peace agreement with Israel. I'm talking about now from President Mubarak, not the military, but they have been supportive of the effort to maintain as much stability throughout the region as possible. We train periodically together. We have at the military-to-military level ongoing procedures and sharing of information, technologies, etc. So it's been a strong relationship. And I support what Secretary Gates has been saying. Secretary Gates is correct. The military, the Egyptian military, has been exercising great restraint, and hopefully they'll continue to do that.
Secretary, you know, President Mubarak, President Sadat, President Nasser all rose up from within the Egyptian military. So if the military now takes over a leadership role once again, what has actually changed in Egypt?
Well, I think what's changed is Egyptian society, the world has changed by way of information technology. Now everybody has access to the internet for the most part, not now in Egypt for the moment perhaps, but information has changed society. And I think the Egyptian military will continue to play a significant role in Egyptian society. It may in fact be a transition force here until they do take these steps toward a much more democratic society. So the Egyptian military will continue to be important, but I think what's changed is the desire on the part of people the world over to have more and more freedom, more political freedom, individual opportunity. So that has changed.
Secretary, you know, since this crisis, it's become well known that, you know, 80% of the $2 billion that the U.S. provides Egypt comes in defense support. So there's a lot of hyperventilating happening about a what-if scenario should, say, the Muslim Brotherhood or another opposition party take control in Egypt. Wouldn't doing so, any abrogation of Camp David, cause all that money to go away? I mean, financially, do you really believe that there's a potential for Egypt's leadership to break the Camp David Accords, thus giving up all that money?
I think it's unlikely they'll want to break the accords. We may see a weakening of them. I think the fear is that if you have a Muslim Brotherhood come to power, that they would in fact undermine those treaty arrangements, and slowly but surely they would allow weapons to be continue to be smuggled into Gaza. That they would see a weakening of that relationship. So I think that's the fear, and that of course puts the state of Israel in the crosshairs, so to speak, with being surrounded by hostile elements from Gaza, with Hamas, Hezbollah now in Lebanon having a greater influence, and then of course Iran itself. So it changes the dynamic. It would, I think, be much more unstable throughout the region, and the potential for, I think, warfare becomes at least problematic at that point. So this is a big issue, and that's why Egypt is very important, and what takes place in Egypt is important. It's important that this evolution to a democratic society really take place in a reasonable period of time, and not immediately, but within a reasonably foreseeable time. It has to take place.
All right. Well, the Egyptian people have had 30 years of peace at this point, so it's unclear as to the sentiment in the street about that relationship with Israel. But let me ask you specifically about the meeting that's happening today with Secretary Gates and Israel's defense secretary. What's that conversation about? And during your time, did you perceive Omar Suleiman, the vice president of Egypt, to in fact be the preferred successor to Mubarak?
I did not perceive him to be the successor. I think that at that time, President Mubarak's son, Gamal, was seen to be one of the potential successors, and that, of course, has been taken off the table, and he's no longer going to be in the line of succession. I did meet Mr. Suleiman and knew him as the intelligence chief. I did not see him as a political figure. He may be such, again, on a transition basis, but I don't see him, frankly, as leading Egypt into the future. I think we're going to see younger people come to the forefront and, again, an evolutionary step to a much more democratic society. I think that's inevitable.
All right, Secretary, we've got to leave it there. Thank you very much for your time.
Pleasure to be with you.